Users of Reddit, what's the most uncomfortable compliment you've ever received? I wish my girlfriend looked like you so I could pin her against a wall and fuck her. I took my cat to the vet and he says she has great anal tension. As we're both struggling to get her temperature taken. To which I said thanks. I don't think it was a compliment but I cringe every time I remember it. Mostly because my idiotic thanks. As a med student I was taking care of a retired colonel at the VA hospital and at the end of our visit he tells me, "You are so perfectly medium." I looked at him dumbfounded for a second and then he explained that he meant it as a high compliment. I was big enough for hand-to-hand infantry, but small enough to fit in a tank. Features that could blend in anywhere in Europe to Russia so I could be a spy. I guess I'd make a versatile pawn. Coworker looked at my children, then me and said, "You must have a really attractive wife." Our pediatrician made a comment about how our daughter was long and lean and then looked at me and added, "She must get that from her dad." Me a few months postpartum. Former coworker when he saw a slightly older photo of me, "Wow, you used to be hot. Damn, you're hot, you look just like my sister." That's a nice watch. From the dude at the next urinal. Honestly, it was so funny I've used it myself since just to mess with people. "I always hoped Sarah would marry you." Said to me by Sarah's mom. At her wedding to my good friend. Who happened to be standing next to me, some guy told me, "Eyebrow nice nipples." After that I never wore those types of tank tops ever again. The first time my mother-in-law saw me in a bikini she said, "I knew my son would end up with a woman like you by the way he breastfed." It was uncomfortable. One customer once told me how I looked 15 and then proceeded to ask my number while I was ringing up his items. He kept on with this for several days by telling me stuff like how I looked pretty or complimenting my hair. He was well into his 40s, "I wanna be your sugar daddy." From a former boss, this was in high school, but a female friend of mine told me I had nice jeans. I was wearing sweats at the time, and was confused because I thought she said jeans. She clarified saying she meant my hair and skin color. I awkwardly said thanks and to top it off, she said, "One day, I want to adopt a small little Asian girl who looks just like you. You have the most kissable lips," said by my great uncle at Christmas dinner. I hate Latinos, but you're all right. We had to volunteer in a soup kitchen when I attended Catholic grade school. I was about 13 at the time, and one of the homeless men came up to me and said, "You have such pretty eyes. Can I have them?" As a guy I was spending time with this girl that said this in these exact words, "You have an amazingly impeccable ass, it's so nice like a fat little toddler's ass." That comment still weirds me out to this day. If you got raped, I would understand why they did it. "You have a very rapeable body." Awful. This made me remember the dude who, mid-kiss, pulled back and whispered that I had breakable wrists. "You have the most perfectly shaped head." I'm bald. In retrospect, the compliment was actually really nice. I just didn't expect my friend's mom to say those words. I was 12 or so, and eating shitty Chinese at my mall's local food court. My mom's best friend growing up was from Korea, and ended up learning to use chopsticks. Naturally, she taught me. So I'm eating this amazingly crappy mall Chinese when this old lady says to me, "Oh, you can eat like a little Jap, can't you?" Honestly, almost 20 years later, I still have no retort, witty or otherwise, for that. Person, "Are you a Sagittarius?" Me, "Yay, how can you tell?" Person, "Because your eyes are honest." Me, smiling, "Aw thank why?" Person, "But your face isn't." Me, neutral face. 70-year-old creepy customer kept being touchy with me. I'm a man, she's a woman. One day she grabbed my wrist and looked me in the eyes and said, "I like the way you say yes ma'am." And wouldn't let go until I gave an awkward laugh. And I know that's nothing compared to what women get, but I had to go hide in the back and shiver it out. "You have very cute ears. Very suckable." From a college classmate, girl, guy, had known for several months. I thought she might have a thing for me, but after that I never sat with her. "You're the only guy I've ever masturbated to. I bet it's annoying no one pulls out for you." From a guy I work with and have only spoken to like a couple times, completely out of the blue as he walked by, "I don't find you attractive but your writing makes me wet." Like. What? I was recently told by a crackhead that, "Your boyfriend must love cracking you open like a coconut. You have the most default face I've ever seen." If I had to explain to an alien what a standard human face looks like, I'd use yours as an example. 16 years old at my sister's wedding and the groom's dad, whom I've never talked to, walks up to me and says, "You finally look like an adult woman." For context, I don't wear makeup or dresses cause they make me feel very uncomfortable, but I did because it was my sister's wedding and I wasn't about to make a fuss. I asked him what I look like normally and he said, "A depressed child." Still not sure if this was fully a compliment, but it did make me very uncomfortable. Lol. Old man at VA hospital, you got any kids? 14-year-old me. Nope. Him, ya want some? Winks. Your armpit smells nice. I had no idea what to say, so I said thanks. Smack on the ass in the lunch line pretty well every day, followed by, you ya boy, you got a ghetto booty. Yes, I am a guy. Yes, I did lots of squats. Yes, it was weird. Yes, it is something I am oddly proud of even still to this day. You have beautiful eyes. I get this a lot. I have ice blue eyes and I receive compliments often. But in this particular instance, I was walking out of a store and a lady walking in said you have beautiful eyes while never once looking up to my face. When I turned to say thank you, I noticed she was blind. She had her head draped in a dark hood and when she turned towards me, I saw she couldn't see a fucking thing. It has fucked with me for a while and I have no explanation for such a weird exchange. It caused a discomfort I'd never felt before. That outfit makes me want to rape you. He meant it as a compliment and panicked when he realized what he said was very out of line. I never wore anything similar ever again around. That dude was working security for a liquor store and a woman walked in wearing this awesome red long coat with a neat design on it. I said I loved her coat, and she immediately looks at me and says, "You're a nice looking snack yourself, honey." Had absolutely no idea how to respond and still don't. A doctor told me my tonsils should be in magazine spreads, so I have that going for me, which is nice. I thought you were 13 but now seeing your boobs you must be at least 15. You're so cute. Some creepy guy on my Insta and I'm 18 not 13 or 15 but my face looks younger because of buccal fat, baby face, and the photo was a normal photo like bruh, doesn't matter I'm actually 18 but this guy must be into kids because the way he said it. I had a man come up to me once and tell me I wear my skin nicely. I was talking to a nice lady at the bar. She asked about things I like doing and what I do for a living and her reaction to my answer was ooh. You're not like other Asians. But she said it like that's a good thing. Almost like she was relieved I wasn't like other Asians. I don't think it was meant in a backhanded way, it was a pretty innocent comment because we're really close but you have the perfect facial features. If you lose weight you'll be like those Instagram glow-up stories. I was walking late at night near the French Quarter in New Orleans. I walked past a guy going the other way. I heard his footsteps change as if he turned around behind me. So I turned around to prepare for the attack. He just looked at me for a second, then gave me 2 thumbs up and said, "Nice ass." I gave him 2 thumbs up and said, "Thanks," and kept walking. You'd be so hot if you weren't fat. I've been told at least 3 times by different guys that they don't go for really attractive guys. They prefer less attractive ones, like me. Well thanks. Weirdo I didn't know around a very big campfire was staring at me. I quizzically stare back. He said, "You have a remarkable facial bone structure," and walked away. I thought for sure he was going to turn my skin into a lampshade. It did not sit right with me. Some years ago, when I was still in university, a female friend and I were walking back to her apartment. It was nighttime and the campus was pretty quiet for a weekend. As we were walking, we got approached by a young man, roughly our age and clearly a student there. He proceeded to stand right in front of us, blocking our path. Looked my friend up and down, then says, "You've got nice bones." He then walked away without another word. We ran to our destination as quickly as possible. Never saw that dude again. I was at my first boyfriend's house meeting his mom for the first time. Her half-dead, toothless, and mean AF tiny poodle named Angelica walked over and she said to her, "Look Angelica. She's so beautiful, just like you." I'll never forget that, more of a flirt than a compliment, but I really want to share it. I'd give your dad a blowjob to have a taste of what you're made from. Dude, what the fuck? He said that on our first day after we started dating. Back when I was in school I never had a teacher that looked like you. From my boyfriend's father. Just a couple days ago. A group of us were walking on the campus in the late night/early morning. Someone made a joke about escaping if someone came to rob/assault us. This boy said that we'd be fine, because out of the group I'm the most likely to be raped and the rest of them could run in the meantime. I'm Asian and I don't have a high nose bridge. My mom said, "You would look perfect if you had a higher nose bridge. If I could, I'd fund your plastic surgery by selling my gold ring."